Hi guys, it's Jamila here from Slap. Today I'm going to be doing a video on the brand new Pat McGrath Labs Celestial Odyssey Eyeshadow Palette. This is one of her brand new bumper palettes, part of her Holiday 2021 collection. So I'm just going to get into it, but if you haven't subscribed already guys, please subscribe. We'd love to have you in the Slap family. And without further ado guys, here is the video. I did a Will I Buy a couple of weeks ago and you guys are very excited to see this and it looks amazing. It is giving me Christmas holiday vibes and I'm loving it. This is one of her larger, more affordable palettes. I do have all of her mothership palettes which are about $125 I believe, if I remember correctly. They're quite expensive but they are kind of like prized possessions. They are collectibles and they are so gorgeous and amazing that they are worth the money. She also has some little quads as well which are quite pricey compared to the bigger mothership palettes, but they are also really nice. I've got one of those in the shade Voyeuristic Vixen, which is kind of my like everyday go-to quad. It's just like easy, my favorite thing. I really would highly recommend that quad, especially if you do want to dip your toe into Pat McGrath. This is brand new for holiday. It's also her second time she's doing one of these big palettes that is more affordable. So I think the difference is in these is that the pans are slightly smaller and the packaging is a lot less like jazzy. So instead of coming in like a very thick plastic, heavyweight plastic packaging, this is coming in cardboard I believe. So it's the first time I've ever tried one of these large, big, cardboardy holiday palettes. She did release one last year but Colour Story wasn't really doing it for me and I just wasn't feeling it. But when I saw this one launch, I was like, yes, this is the one for me. I love the packaging of this. It is bright red. It is giving me Christmas cracker vibes. It's giving me nutcracker vibes, which I'm in love with. And I love the look of it. I love the layout. The Colour Story looks cool. There are definitely a few pinks in there. Pat does love her pinks. There's a really cool looking green, a really nice looking brown, which you know I love a good brown, chocolate brown. There's also a black as well, which I think is so necessary for a winter eye makeup look. And yeah, there's just lots of good stuff going on. I'm not sure how many mattes there are. I feel like I can see 4. Anyway, I'm just going to read you guys the blurb. So this is the Mothership Mega Celestial Odyssey. This is £60 and 78 US dollars. So it says there are 5 luxe finishes, structures and highlights, creamy textures, effortless blending, 1 stroke color release, extreme adherence, use wet or dry, and it is 18 times 1.1 grams and 0.04 ounces. So you get 18 shades in the palette. I'm excited about that. So let's see what they say. So she says, this is your mission, go where no beauty lover has ever gone before with a limited edition 18 shade couture color cachet, beam beyond the spectrum in an array of supernova gemstone inspired shades presented in a cyber bronze starscape balanced with warm and cool tones. Elevate your artistry with fantasy inducing hues and deliriously creamy textures that deliver extraterrestrial effects in 5 finishes: sateen, shimmer, 24K, duochrome sparkle, foiled metallic, velvet matte and iridescent sparkle. Let your imagination take flight, embarking on a tech noir odyssey with incomparable blendability and buildability for eyes, skin and beyond. All shades are expertly calibrated to wear entrancingly on every skin tone and to conjure iconic looks, ranging from earthshine splendor to divine otherworldliness. Use without caution, a universe of artistry without boundaries is yours. I love the fact that she's got warm and cool in here. It's going to work on every skin tone, as everything that Pat McGrath does. We love her for it. I'm feeling this guys. Deliriously creamy textures. I'm going to show you guys the packaging and then I'm going to get into a demo. So those are the eyeshadow swatches. I feel like for eyeshadow looks is not even going to do this justice. I feel like you could do about 100 different looks with just these shades. There's definitely a variation in terms of finish and feel. Some of the glitters feel quite gritty, quite glittery, and some of them are so smooth and buttery. The mattes, as always, are super soft, and yeah, there's just so much variation. There's so much variation in texture, finish, feel. It's like crazy. It does also feel very spacey. I'm definitely getting like Celestial Odyssey from it, definitely the Odyssey side of it. The browns are amazing. I'm obsessed with the browns. These browns in particular, and this one's a really nice rich one, but these two are so nice. Also love the look. This is actually a shade I already had, but I broke. This is Rose Venus, and this used to be a single eyeshadow, or it might still be a single eyeshadow. This I thought was a black, but it's actually like a midnight blue. Intrigued by it, not sure how I'm gonna wear that. Probably won't wear it today just because it might be a bit hard to get off, but I think that would make a really nice like cool smoky eye look. I think this lilac is stunning. Such a nice lilac to have. This one here is actually a duochrome, so this one's a bit more interesting than it looks just straight off the bat. But yeah, I like the look of it. I feel like it's going to be super fun. It's different. It's bold. It's like so much. Like I said, I don't even feel like 4 eyeshadow looks is going to do this palette justice. I do also like that even though this is like a cardboard, slightly cheaper version of Pat McGrath, I like the fact that she still kind of nods to her motherships by having this like black plastic inside. It kind of just reminds me of the bigger mothership palettes as well. But I also don't think I've ever had an eyeshadow palette this big. It kind of reminds me of those really big Morphe ones, but obviously like a super luxe, fun, festive version. So I'm excited to try it. I'm just going to get into it. I'm going to use this brown here because I haven't tried that. That's very cute. That's a really nice neutral brown colour. I do like that. That's very pretty. It's definitely opened up my eyes a lot. I'm going to go back in with a bit more of this one. Next, I'm going to use the same base. It's quite bright. It's very bright actually. I'm going to deepen it with this brown here. So nice and chocolatey. Very easy to work with. I don't feel like they're as Pat McGrathy as some of the mothership ones, but I do like them. I do think they look good. So I'm going to give you a quick close-up. Obviously, I'm not doing anything like too perfect. I just want to see how they wear on. So I'm going to use this one here as a base. And I have to remember that these are without any mascara or anything, or any liner or anything, so they're just on a bare lid. I do quite like this pink. I don't really wear pink glitters like this, but I do think it looks pretty cool. That's quite a cool shade. It's very subtle. Quite like that. That's very subtle. That's something I would just wear. Obviously it's not blended in very well, but I want to see what this orange one looks like, so I'm going to use that. It's copper. I think these are both super fun, and it's really hard to like judge them because they don't have mascara on, but I think this one is really nice, really flattering, and this one's really fun. It's really bright, it's really different. So I think both of these are good colour stories. Like them both. I really like this. And I like this, it's fun. So next up, I'm gonna go in with, haven't done any of these greens. Maybe I'll try a green and a purple just to be weird. Some like this, they're not as smooth, and they're not as, because it doesn't have like maybe like a green matte underneath, it doesn't look as full. It looks a bit patchy in parts, and it doesn't have the same like topperish effect as other things that Pat McGrath has. I'm gonna see what this one looks like with it, just for no reason apart from the fact that it's here. So these are two of the lighter ones. They look a bit icy. Maybe if they had, and also they're very badly applied. Also if they had like liquid eyeliners and mascara on, maybe they would look slightly better. Not my favorite two. What I'm gonna do, since I've got it, I'm gonna use this clicker thingy and see if it changes the glitters at all. Because this is supposed to like smooth them out and also be quite cooling on the eye. Don't know why, but yeah. Definitely does make it smoother. Definitely makes it more smooth and more kind of glazy. I'm back. I'm going to be doing my favourites of the day. So guys, that is the Pat McGrath Celestial Odyssey eyeshadow palette on. I actually really love this eye look. It's probably my favorite of the day. It just looks really flattering, and it kind of reminds me of the Glossier Teak, but much more what I would have wanted, much more rich, much more smooth, much more even. I have to say, not all of the glitters are created equal. Some of them are a lot more sparse, some of them are a lot more glittery, whereas some of them are very smooth, very full, very even, kind of like the orange on the coppery orange one on this one. I much prefer that to something like the green or the lilac. Even though they're really nice colors, they do feel quite sparkly and speckly and quite sparse on the lid, and I feel like they just need a bit more depth or a bit more, or a matte in the corresponding shade, so it will kind of balance itself out. If I ever do want like a lilac-y eye, I'm sure I will come back to this and use this, maybe mix it with the By Radio one I have, which I really like as well. Personally, my favorite shades are like the shades I tend to stick to, so like the brown matte is really, really nice. The deep brown matte's really, really nice. I don't think this is unique in Pat McGrath because she's got lots of like nice rich chocolatey mattes. I feel like this shade is new though. I'm not 100% sure, but I feel like this shade is new. Really like this brown shimmery sheeny shade, very smooth, and all of these pinks and light pale pinks and glitters, it's kind of what Pat McGrath is fantastic at, and they always look really flattering. I feel like they're good shades because they look flattering across skin tones, they look flattering for everyone, whereas some of these, like this shade here, the lilac shade, weren't so flattering on my skin tone. I felt like they got a bit icy and looked a bit like not cute. So personally, I prefer when her shades are a little bit warmer, or those pinks that have like depth to them, lots of gold in them. It just makes them a bit more flattering for my skin tone. I didn't try this deep one. I did try it when my light broke, but I think this would be a really nice topper if you've got like a black matte, because it's more of a midnight blue. I do think all in all it is a really fun palette. It's a really cool color story. It's very bold, it's very bright. Shades I would never wear, like this pink one here, just was so fun, and I could just see myself using it on like a night out, or like for a Christmas party, or just like, you know, when you want to have a bit of fun and just get really creative. It was really effective, and it looked really good, really smooth, really punchy, and it worked really well on top of the matte pink underneath it. I don't think every single shade in here is successful, but I think the majority of them are, so it kind of is worth it. If you are a big Pat McGrath lover, I think you will still like this palette. I don't think that every single shade felt like a Pat McGrath shade. Some of them were just a bit too sparse and glittery and didn't have that kind of special toppery sheen, which is what I personally love from Pat McGrath. But what I saw in the Mothership 9 and what I'm seeing is in here, she's not using her special shades as much. She's going for lots of kind of creamy glitters, and then like sparsy, sparkly glitters, which I don't love those sparsy, sparkly glitters from her personally. I much prefer like my old school sheeny, shiny shades that you just do that and you get this incredible glaze of color and sheen and just uniqueness that no one else does like her. So I personally would like to see her keep those and not lose those, because I think that's what makes her so unique. But maybe that's just because I'm not like an MUA and I don't necessarily know how to work every different texture of eyeshadow in the way that I'm sure she can, and she does. And if you look at her Instagram, you'll see that she can make every single shade in here sing in a way I just definitely couldn't. But as someone who is just like a regular human who doesn't have Pat McGrath level skills, I personally prefer her kind of sheeny, shiny shades. And I think if I was to get, I don't know, I think this is super fun and Christmassy, and is definitely something you should have on your Christmas wish list if you are a Pat McGrath lover. But if you don't have anything in the collection, I had one of you guys ask me a few weeks ago, what if you could only get one eyeshadow palette from Pat McGrath, what would it be? I personally still would recommend her Motherships, and I probably would go for like Mothership 7, Mothership 5. But at the moment, the one thing I love and use more than anything else is the quad in the shade Voyeuristic Vixen. I haven't tried all of her quads, and I know not all of them are created equally, not all of them are as good as each other, but that one for me is just everything I would want in an eyeshadow palette, everything I would want in an eyeshadow quad. It just does everything. It's wearable, it's everyday, it's evening, it's party, it's just perfection. So I personally would still pick that. But in terms of like gifting and specialness and fun and joy sparking goodness, I would probably go for this. This is very fun, it's cool. Not every shadow in here is perfect, but you can really find some good things and find things that are gonna work for your skin tone, work for your experience level with eyeshadows, work for party season. I think in terms of the price, it's a good value for money palette, but I don't think there's a big enough difference in price between this, the quad, and the Mothership big ones that I would necessarily go for this as a money saver over just investing in like a big Mothership palette or going for that quad. But I do think this is really fun. I think it's really cool, it's really different, it's very joyous. I mean, the packaging in itself is just amazing. Just looking at it makes me feel happy, it makes me feel joy, and makes me think of Christmas and holidays. So what's not to love? I think it's a pretty good palette. It's not bad at all, not perfect, not Pat McGrath level perfection, but pretty good nonetheless. And really good quality shadows as always. I'd say 95% is pretty fantastic. So yeah, not bad at all. Hope you guys found that helpful. Hope you found it useful. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. Will you be buying it? Will you be trying it? Let me know. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you like this video. If you haven't subscribed already guys, please subscribe. We'd love to have you in the Slap family. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.